Good morning, welcome, vanakkam, suprapadam, jai hind. The limited purpose of this video is to celebrate in our midst the richness of the responses that this YouTube Sangamam is so privileged to enjoy. It's important that we take time and care to celebrate what is good and beautiful in our midst. Because all the time, what is being showcased is what is ugly, what is aggressive, what is of low taste, the massification, vulgarization, and brutalization of culture and public life. Whereas the fact of the matter is that every human being dreams of something beautiful, something good, something fair, something that relates to the greatness of being human. But unfortunately, that is not the fashion today. The prevailing fashion is to revel in what is low, degrading, and what presents humanity in a very poor light. That's the reason why I feel that it's necessary to acknowledge what is good and beautiful in our midst, and also for the added reason that our YouTube Sangamam is different from all other YouTube channels in the sense that the purpose of this intervention in the culture of India, the public life of India, the consciousness of India, is to kindle and awaken as well as activate and celebrate the real goodness of India. We are a great nation. We are a wonderful people. And it's important that we develop what is good and noble about us rather than what is mean and ugly, and do so at a time when globally there is a perceptible degeneration in culture, in morality, and in human dignity. So, this is also the larger duty that we have towards humanity at large. Above all, it's important that we care to do justice to ourselves, to believe that we are not this kind of run of the mill stuff, but there is that irreducible element of human greatness in each one of us. And we are not just one of the many ciphers walking on two legs. We are all wonderful, unique, talented, thinking individuals who have something to contribute to the banquet of public life. So, without any further words by way of preface, what I propose to do now and from now onwards, without actually offering any comments, because no comments are required, the responses are so rich. I'll read 4 or 5 responses that have come in recent times. They are merely representative, they're not exhaustive by any means. Every response I'm getting has a wonderful seed of thought, or it sheds a beautiful patch of light. It ennobles me, it refines me, it encourages me. And I want each one of you to know that the part that you play is at least as important as all the efforts that I am taking in order to ennoble our public life. We are not here to identify ourselves with one camp or another, to advocate the cause of one party over the rest. We are here to try and be different from the general trend today, which unfortunately is the trend of the ascendancy of the mediocre, the mean-minded, the low and vulgar in taste, and all that unfortunately shows our species in a poor light. We want to reverse that trend. That's the reason why I cannot but celebrate the goodness that exists and existed even before we came together in the minds of all of us. And we have merely created a forum where this can be stated, acknowledged, and enjoyed by all to the encouragement of all and to the betterment of our society. So here we are. I want to begin with response from Nitin Varia, and he's responding to my video titled What Butterflies Are Telling Us. What Butterflies Are Telling Us. So here is his response. He says, very good. However, uh, people are being implanted with poison and hatred by certain political agencies. Therefore, the majority of our people are preferring to live in ignorance because of this negative influence. They are being degraded into poor quality of thought to the detriment of India as a whole. It's a heinous crime. And then he goes on to analyze this content of that video. And actually, this is an improvement. It's an improvement on what I said in the video. Therefore, I share this with you with great delight and excitement. He says, to understand the interconnectedness of life and politics, we can draw parallels with the 4 stages of a butterfly's life. That's what I call the life cycle of the butterfly. The 4 stages of a butterfly's life are egg, larva, or within brackets caterpillar. I use the word caterpillar. The alternate word is larva. Pupa, I use the word chrysalis, and the adult butterfly. These stages beautifully illustrate the transformation we undergo in life and politics. Let's position ourselves in the stage of the caterpillar, because that was the focus I chose in the video. For the caterpillar, the world is confined to the leaf it lives on, and its only job is to eat until it becomes a chrysalis. Similarly, in life, we often find ourselves confined to the caste we are born into, the custom we follow, and our religion. When these become our only focus, we risk dying before we truly begin to fly. That's very beautifully put. The butterfly teaches us how to navigate this process. It must not limit itself to the leaf, but must break free from its constraints to explore the broader world. In the same way, if we remain trapped by our limited beliefs, we will never achieve our full potential. The caterpillar's transformation into a butterfly is a metaphor for our own journey. If we remain confined to our narrow perspectives and prejudices, we will never experience the freedom and growth that comes from breaking out of our shells or our cocoons. Just as the caterpillar has to move beyond the leaf and become a chrysalis before emerging as a butterfly, we too must strive to transcend our limitations. Those who demonstrate the capacity and desire to grow and transform are the ones who will eventually soar. They rise above the masses. Until we understand and apply this lesson, we will remain confined and limited, much like the caterpillar on a single leaf. Let's take the inspiration from the butterfly's journey and aim to progress through all the stages of our life with courage, resilience, and an open mind. I think the butterfly's wings denote the open mind. Right now, we are in the caterpillar stage where our world is limited to the leaf and our job is only to eat. If we continue this mindset, we will never become butterflies and fly. Therefore, let's embrace the brotherhood, courage, and commitment and successfully navigate through all the stages like a butterfly. I want to salute this friend of ours, Nitin. He has improved on my presentation. I'm proud to say this. And this is what fills my heart with joy and hope, for not only for the small group of people that we are, but for India as a whole. Mind you, we may be a small group, but the impact we can have, if we can believe in it and work steadily towards that goal, the impact we can have is truly great. It will far exceed our numerical limitations. And I think it's already happening. Now, let me read a response from Suhash Subhash C. Jain, and he is responding to the video titled As I Think of Modi Ji. Let me read out. I just finished watching your video As I Think of Modi Ji. So much so, I wish your message reaches him as you have also wished him too. But, sir, I comprehend that he will not do so since he is not made out of that metal at all. Here, I don't agree with my friend Subhash. As a teacher, I have learned to respect the potential of everyone. I believe that every human being is a universe in himself or herself, and therefore, I have great faith that if a person can be exposed to the right kind of influences, there's a good chance, there's no absolute certainty at all, there's a good chance that that person could take a turn for the better. The happenings of Gujarat in 2002 leave me stunned about the way the human carnage took place. And I consider it as an instance of sponsored terrorism. Lot many proofs were already there, and some proofs are dubiously suppressed under the power of the state, and the same person was at the helm of affairs at that time. Well, this has been examined by the court of law. The Supreme Court has exonerated him, and therefore, I would rather go by the verdict of the Honorable Supreme Court, which is my duty as one who believes in the rule of law. Now, let me move on to another very short response, and this short and sweet. It's from Karen, and she writes, Sir, I wait up to late night to complete watching your daily videos. Then she makes a request. Please try to reduce the number of videos. I do not like missing even a single video. Karen's complaint is that I'm actually cutting into her sleep time because she does not want to miss any of these videos. I usually post 3 to 4 videos, as you know. But I'm sure that Karen agrees with me that producing 4 videos or 3 videos is far more strenuous than watching them. No, I'm not making a complaint. I'm only saying that I fully agree with what she's saying. And I also want to take this opportunity to offer the added explanation that I don't expect everyone to see every one of the videos I post. Different videos are posted because I believe that different individuals have different tastes in subjects, in presentation, etc. And therefore, a person may choose to see 1 video or maybe 2 videos, but certainly I don't expect everyone to see every video. But I feel it's my duty to cater to tastes and interests of a very wide variety to the extent that I can. Right now I can do this much, but I don't know how long I can sustain this momentum and this volume of work. So as long as I can, I'll do my very best for all of you. And I'm also working with the consciousness that maybe we are developing resources for the coming generations. My belief is that this material will remain in the cyberspace and people coming after us may be able to access it. That's one of my major expectations, considerations, and secret wellspring of my motivation. So, Karen will forgive me if I do not abide by her request or advice to reduce the number of videos. Pardon me. But given the condition of my throat, I may have to abide by this request very soon. Now let me share another response by Subha Sudhagar, I think. Subha Sudhagar. The font size is very small, therefore I have difficulty in reading this. Subha Sudhagar. She says, thank you so much for your wonderful and inspiring message on sincerity. And she's actually commenting on the video titled The Rahul Magic. The Rahul Magic, or the soul of the matter. So thank you so much for your wonderful and inspiring message on sincerity. In that video, I had identified sincerity as a secret of Rahul Gandhi's very special fascination or attractive power to all the people who listen to him. And that power is now increasing. In fact, she says she has written the script of that video, the video titled The Rahul Magic, written it down word by word in my notebook. I'm so encouraged by this enthusiasm. You don't see this kind of meticulous attention to detail, keenness to learn, keenness to contribute, willingness to think, willingness to pursue an argument to its conclusion in any other YouTube channel that you and I are familiar with. There are more than 100 million YouTube channels. So obviously we can't be aware of even 0.1% of them. To the extent that I'm aware of, I visit certain channels in order to keep in touch with the standards in vogue. I have come across a few channels where the contents are good, perhaps even better, but I haven't come across a single channel in which the responses are as rich as the responses our YouTube Sangamam is generating. That's my excitement. This message will surely make one to stop and think and analyze themselves before ending their letter with those two words, yours sincerely. Because she's saying that we use the word sincerely in a very casual, unthinking manner. You conclude a letter with these words, yours sincerely, and you never really think what it means. What does it mean to write a letter sincerely? We may be most insincere in the letters that we write, but we will conclude the letter by saying, yours sincerely. All right. Then she says, and it would also bring a proud smile on the faces of those who are practicing the intricacies of sincerity, that is, the absence of pretense, deceit, and hypocrisy in their life. That is, they will feel encouraged. Those who endeavor to be sincere in their life, in their words and deeds, they will feel encouraged by the contents of the video. When they finish this letter with those two words, yours sincerely, in a truthful manner, especially the people's leader, Mr. Rahul Gandhi. Sir, an eagerness and enthusiasm has risen in me to learn and understand the meaning of the two words, yours faithfully, waiting to listen to your message of inspiration in this regard. She wants me to do a video on concluding a letter with the words, yours faithfully. So what does faithfulness mean? It's an important theme. I shall consider doing a video on this. Now let me, I have two more responses in mind, and I'll just read them out and I'll conclude. The next is from Nitya Dakshina Murthy, and I have shared some of her responses in the past. Nitya writes to me that she's having difficulties in posting her response in the readers column, readers in the comments box. Somebody has played some trick with our channel, and she is being excluded mainly because of the quality of her response has irritated or offended somebody, certain centers of interest, and they want to exclude her. But let me read this response. It's so very good. And she is responding to this video titled Religious Slaves via Religious Freedom. How we become religious slaves under the auspices of religious freedom. She says, every video of yours is a treat for the ears, and more importantly is light, guidance and nourishment for the soul. Whatever be the context of your videos, be it political or religious or social or cultural, there lie buried in them priceless nuggets of light, wisdom and wisdom for the soul. In this video, the nuggets that spoke to me loudest were two. One, understanding, that is standing under or practicing, that is putting whatever you know to practice, bridging the gulf between belief and behavior. You cannot understand something unless you allow it to guide you into action, and through the experience the action generates, you understand what it is. I've often experienced a strange dissonance. I seem to understand, and yet I do not really understand. And your words have made very clear the reason for this dissonance. The missing piece of the puzzle is doing, practicing, living by what you know. What we think we know by heart, as we often say, is actually what we know only by head. Only when we move it into our heart, absorb its essence, and make it a way of life will we know it by heart. And then it would become second nature to us. She puts it very well, and I salute her for it. The second point she emphasizes is do not harbor zeal for your religion, because that way you will never live by your spiritual light. Let's cultivate instead a zeal for love, zeal for compassion, zeal for truth, zeal for justice. These are the words of our times. These are the words for our times. Much needed wisdom for for the times we live in. I completely resonate with this and have often tried to communicate the same to people in my circles, but articulating this has been a struggle. In just 2 sentences, you've delivered such an important message. Thank you. I came across a captivating quote by Imam Jafar al Sadiq: tell people about your religion without the use of your tongue. Now, something similar was said about Saint Francis of Assisi, who said, preach by all means, use words if you have to. Preach the gospel to all people, but use words only if you have to. Ideally, words must be avoided in propagating one's religious convictions. In the other video you have posted today, there is another lovely nugget. There is no point in praising someone unless you decide to develop the admirable qualities embodied in that person. That's the difference between imitating and emulating. Emulate. To emulate is to imbibe and practice the good and noble qualities embodied in a person. We must convert admiration into inspiration, else the words of praise just remain words, fleetingly pleasing the praised and giving a momentary feel good to the praiser. Thank you for these gems. Then she has some, some very kind words to say about me, which I shall omit. Let me conclude by reading the response of another very active, very keen, extremely beautiful participant. His name is Sunil Francis George. I have quoted him before. This is the second time I am introducing him to you. I wish all of us could meet someday. It would be a great thing. And he is responding to religious slaves via religious freedom. He says, wow, your summary is incredibly insightful and thought-provoking. It's impressive how you've distilled the main points and expanded on them, emphasizing the urgency of these topics within the context of religious institutions. The concept of freedom is indeed a central one here, both spiritual and personal, and it's concerning that many religious communities hinder that freedom even while promoting religious freedom for their institutions and activities. The lack of choice in inherited religion and the tendency to prioritize rote learning over true understanding are also critical issues to consider, as they have implications for individual and communal growth. Freedom, then he quotes from the Bible, freedom. The Bible speaks extensively about freedom, particularly spiritual freedom. For example, Galatians chapter 5 verse 1 says, it is for freedom that Christ has set us free. The concept of freedom in Christ is central to Christian theology, which is very true. Unfortunately, organized church does not respect that freedom. Choice in religion. While the Bible encourages passing faith to children, passing on the faith to children, Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 6 and 7, it also emphasizes personal faith and individual choice. Joshua 24:15 says, choose for yourself this day whom you will serve. So he emphasizes the importance of choice, and that's extremely important. That's critically important for the spiritual life of individuals. Understanding versus rote learning. Jesus often criticized religious leaders of his time for focusing on outward adherence rather than heart understanding. Here he's saying exactly the same that Nitya has stated. Matthew chapter 15 verses 8 and 9, he says, these people honor me with their lips, but their hearts are far from me. institutional religion versus personal faith. The Bible presents a balance between communal worship and personal relationship with God. While it encourages gathering together, Hebrews 10:25, it also emphasizes the personal prayer and devotion, that is Matthew 6:6. Growth and understanding. The Bible encourages continual growth in faith and understanding. He refers to the second letter of Peter, chapter 3, verse 18. And he quotes the text, but grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. So I've just taken a few of the typical responses, and let me conclude by making a request to all members of this very, very beautiful fellowship, multi-religious, or rather religion-free fellowship of open-minded, truth-seeking, humanity-respecting, mutually affectionate people. Please read the responses that come to each video in the comments column. I assure you, it is at least as rewarding as listening to the videos I make for you. I feel so proud of it. I'm so happy to celebrate this richness in our midst. And this, more than anything else, constitutes the uniqueness as well as the richness of our coming together in this particular medium. Well, thank you. Thank you for the keen attention that all of you are taking. And thank you also for the sacrificial donation of your time to keeping abreast of the development of thoughts that is shared with you on a daily basis through this medium. And I hope and pray that, small though we are in number, we would be able to exert a beneficial and transforming influence on the mindset that prevails today. Our country will be better served if there is a shift from the addiction to the low and the mean-minded, the vulgar and the brutal, to something nobler, higher. After all, we recognize Mahatma Gandhi as the Mahatma. Who is a Mahatma? One who performs at the higher levels of the human potential. If that's a good thing for Gandhi, why is it not a good thing for us? Every Indian, the idea of acknowledging Mahatma Gandhi as a father of the nation is for all of us to recognize that spiritually, morally, ethically, we are his children. And as his children, we must shape ourselves after the model, the role model that he has presented to us. And particularly, the unwavering pursuit of truth and the tolerance that emerges out of truth. Where there is falsehood, there will be intolerance. Where there is intolerance, there will be falsehood. Where truth prevails, intolerance is impossible, and where truth has its sway, tolerance prevails. Jai Hind.